My name is Cadet Lieutenant Jeffrey Kim, and I'm your Bravo Company Commander. Today we'll be going over how to assemble the male uniform with its devices. Now, most likely, you will already have your name tag, ribbon bar, and your rank and your J bar. We can start off with the rank. So, when you put your rank on your uniform, first of all, make sure it's upright. Don't make it sideways or diagonal. And the way we're going to orient it is, it should line up with the angle bisector that comes out of the collar point. And the measurement from the collar point is going to be 1 7/8 of an inch. And make sure it lines up with the center of the rank. Now, it doesn't need to line up perfectly, but just make sure when you look at it, it looks right. Here's how it should look. When it comes to your rank, it doesn't need to necessarily have backing on it. Just make sure when you put the pins on it, it's pretty tight so that it doesn't create any bubbles within the rank. And if I forgot to mention, it goes on the right collar. Next is the J bar. It's going to be a bar that says NJROTC on it. And same thing, it will go on the left collar and 1 7/8 inches from the collar point. And again, make sure the measurement is to the center of the O. And same as the rank, make sure make sure there aren't any bubbles within the J bar, so that when you put your pins on the back, there's no folds behind it. This is how it should look so far. Next will be your service stars if you have any. And your service stars are going to go over, or not your service stars, honor roll stars. Honor roll stars are going to be above your J bar, and it's going to be again centered in that centered with that bisector. And it's going to be 1/4 of an inch above your J bar. And this time it's going to be the top of the J bar to the bottom of the star. And make sure it's centered.
One eternity later.
Now, if you only have one honor roll star, I would highly recommend using backing so it stops from rotating. But if you have two, there shouldn't be any problem with it. Next will be the name tag. Your name tag is going to go 1/4 of an inch above your right breast pocket, and it'll be centered to the button or that crease that's going down. Right here. And for this one, you will need backing so that it doesn't pop out awkwardly when you wear the uniform. Now, for your backing size, I highly recommend getting one that's bigger than the device itself, but make sure it's not too big. Mine's on the bigger side, but something that I just grabbed, so. Now, as you can see, the name tag will stay nice and tight on the uniform because of the backing. Next will be the ribbon bar. The ribbon bar will be 1/4 of an inch above your left breast pocket, centered to that crease or the button. Oh, never mind, it does. You're usually not supposed to do this, but this one it's supposed to only fit 2 ribbons in the top row, but someone put 3 in it. So this is an example of when you're going to have a pin in the middle, because originally this ribbon bar is supposed to fit only 2 ribbons in the top row. So what I meant was, you see this middle seam? You're going to line up that pin to that seam so that your ribbon bar starts out centered.
Later.
And one thing to note is make sure to change out your backing from time to time, because the cardboard will start getting loose. And it's eventually going to not be able to do its job. Okay, so far the uniform looks like this. Next will be the service stars. Your service stars will be going above your ribbon bar. And just like the honor roll star, it will be 1/4 of an inch above. And for this one, I recommend using backing, or making the backing for the ribbon bar a little higher so that the stars can also be firmly placed into your uniform. Because since it's going to be directly on your chest, without backing, it tends to pop out. Now, unfortunately, my backing isn't very long, so it will look a little ugly. All right. Next will be the team commander ribbon. And it will go 1/4 of an inch above your name tag. And same as the service stars, you do want backing for this. So far, it looks like this. Last will be the aiguillettes. Now, on your right side will be a silver aiguillette if you went to Leadership Symposium or Leadership Academy. I believe Sail Academy also gets this. And aiguillettes come in 2 varieties. Oh, Sail Academy doesn't get it. Well, that sucks. But there are 2 types of aiguillettes. There's ones that come with this little safety pin kind of thing. And there's others that come in a loop. They both work in a pretty simple manner. The ones that come in a small safety pin type of thing, it's going to go along this line that separates the main torso part and the sleeve part of your khakis. And you want to center it on this crease that should be going down the middle of the sleeve. Now this is sharp, so be careful not to poke yourself. Now, when you put the needle in, you're gonna rotate the little metal piece that's on it, and that's going to stop the needle from coming out. And once you have it on, here's how it should look. Now on the left side will be your T magnets. Now my T magnet happens to come in the form of this little loop thing, which will require an anchor that goes on your garrison cover. Now you do need to attach it to your anchor, and first you're going to put it through that small loop that's created by the ropes on the anchor. As you can see, you're going to put it through from the back to the front. And then you will split it into two sides like this, and you will loop it on the tip of each tip of the anchor on each side. And once you tighten it, it should look something like this. And I highly recommend attaching your aguilet to your anchor before putting it on your shoulder. Now, similar to the aguilets that come with the little safety pins, this one will also be lined up to your sleeves crease, and your JROTC patch should also line up and be centered to this crease. And because of the anchor and the little string, it will need to be a little more inward. So you're going to rest this anchor somewhere about in the center of the center of this little shoulder segment. Here is how your finished uniform should look like. Now, a few things to note is make sure to confirm that all your acorns, which are these little back pin backing things, are on and secured, because if they fall out, they will poke you, and it will not be pretty. This pencil, just a classic wooden pencil, can be used to approximate the distance for the 1/4 inch ones. For example, the name tag should be about 1/4 of an inch above the breast pocket, and you can kind of confirm that with this pencil. See how it fits right in? This also works for the ribbon bar. In this case, I made my ribbon bar a little tight, but still somewhat fits in. And that goes for the other 1/4 inch measurements too. And as long as your measurements are close enough, you don't need to worry. Just make sure to be about like to the nearest 1/16 or 1/8 of an inch. That's about it. To summarize, your J-bar and rank should be 1 7/8 of an inch from the collar point, and it should be lined up with the angle bisector. Your honor roll stars are going to be 1/4 of an inch above your J-bar and centered to that angle bisector too. Your name tag is 1/4 of an inch above your right breast pocket, centered to that seam or the bucket, or not the bucket, the button. And same goes for your team commander ribbon. It's going to be 1/4 of an inch above the name tag and centered to that button or the seam. Your ribbons are going to be 1/4 of an inch above the left breast pocket and centered to the button or the seam. And your service stars are going to be 1/4 of an inch above your ribbons, and it will also be centered to that line. Finally, your aguilets, if you have any, your leadership aguilet, or this shiny silver thing, will always go on the right shoulder. If it's the pin type, make sure it's along that line that separates the sleeve from the main torso part, and it's centered to this seam. And make sure you secure that pin so you don't poke yourself. And your T-magulet on your left side, if it has a little loop on it, attach it to the anchor first, and make sure your anchor is, again, lined up with that seam, and somewhere about in the middle of this shoulder section. And that is all for the male uniform.